All right, so welcome back to the second week of Qliksense. All right, so we have seen a very clear demonstration how to work with a final product of Qliksense that is nothing but app. So every app is going to consist of some multiple pages, right? So every page will talk about some kind of information. Maybe one page is talking about sales information of a company. Second page might be talking about the production of the company. Third page might be company about employee performance. So overall, these 3 pages summary, you want to put it one more sheet called dashboard. So any dashboard may consist of one sheet or multiple sheets. Completely depends upon the kind of complexity the project you are handling in the real time. All right. So most of the organizations use the data to manage their sales performance or the employee performance or production performance so that they can really take the right decision. So the studies and the researchers, what exactly they are trying to show is that the most of the companies nowadays are data driven, right? So they're data driven. They are driving their companies, or whether it's a small scale or any size, irrespective of the size of company, they're always data driven. They want some data to talk about the facts and figures. If they want to talk, they need a data behind the scenes. So data-driven organizations that embrace this analytics generally more confident about the decisions they are making, which puts them in a better position for a long-term sustainability growth. That means uh, anybody can take a decision based on the facts and figures which you are providing through the help of this BI technology, so-called. So maybe it's a Tableau or Qliksense, QlikView, Power BI, whatever it may be. All right. So there are few terminologies which we need to understand before I actually jump into creating these beautiful visualizations. Because from upcoming weeks, you will fall into love with this kind of graphical structure which you are going to create. So I don't want you guys to lost yourself in that beautification of this so-called dashboards. Before that, let us try to understand the terminology as well. As I was keep telling, it's not just creating a automations, it's not just creating a dashboard. We need to have the complete background history of it, so that tomorrow when you're talking in terms of an interview, when you're talking to a boss, when you're talking to a customer, it could be a stakeholders, talk to anyone, you need to talk like a pro. So what makes you a pro? Just that you need to understand the basic terminologies which we are going to use whatever the course you are learning. All right, so let me quickly open my MS Word or Notepad, which comes handy. All right. So the very first one I want to understand, we already seen what is a ClickSense, what is the use of it, how we can compare with other technologies and all. The very first one which I want to understand is, I keep using the word called app, right? So first terminology which we keep using, that is ClickSense app. Okay, that is the first terminology which we want to know. What is an app? App is nothing but an application, right? So when you visit your Play Store, you'll find a lot of apps. We'll keep using that word, apps. So here also in any BA technology, we'll call them as apps. App is a bundled with a different kind of a sheets which has a graphical presentation. Again, it could be anything, right? It could be a bar graph, it could be a line graph, it could be a simple pivot table, or it's a table. It might have some different filters, and it might be showing some key performance indicators of your company. So ClickSense app is basically, you can simply call it as, refers to a dashboard and data visualization application that you build in ClickSense. All right. So that's about the ClickSense app. What is an app? Because we need to keep using this word app. My app, I'm developing an app. All right. So the next one, we can talk uh, about the data more in next coming few minutes. But before that, there is a one important terminology which I want to understand, and it's really plays a very important role. All right, that is called as sheets. Of course, we know what is a sheet. Sheet is again a collection of graphical presentation. ClickSense sheet, we can say. All right. So the hierarchy starts from your logging to your ClickSense app, ClickSense URL, whether it's a desktop or enterprise cloud. I'm not referring anything. Once you log in, the first agenda is you want to create an app. All right. So I just created app. I'm okay with that. So what next? I want to create a sheet. Why you want to create a sheet? Because you want to put all those graphical information. Okay. We'll see a little bit later where the data is going to be there then. On the front end, you are preparing all the beautiful beautification of this graphical presentation. But however, I'm very curious to see where the data is going to sit, how it is going to communicate with the graphical presentations. We'll see practically. These are the two terms which we need to understand very clearly before we get into that. So there's no confusion between what is an app, what is a sheets. Sheets or the collection of that app. App sits on the top layer. All right. So then next terminology which we often use. Keyboard. Okay. The next important terminology which we keep using, that is measures. Okay, it always goes with measures and what do you call as our dimensions. Okay, let me explain you this. And whenever you're creating something, you'll keep using these two words, that is measures and the dimensions. Let me put a lot of stress on this, what exactly this and how it is going to be useful for me when I'm trying to create any graphical presentations. Measures are basically called as a calculations. All right. For example, if you have a regions, we have a regions like Asia Pacific, United Kingdom, USA, uh, Middle East for that matter, Canada. We have all these regions, right? So at the right side, if I take another column, like what are the total sales? Okay, we have in the B column sales information. In the A column, we have a regions. Now, by looking at the data, I want to be very smart in identifying what is measure for me in this, what is dimension for me in this. As I said, measures are nothing but the calculation used in the visualizations. For example, if I'm creating a bar graph, whatever the bars you are showing, that is nothing but your sales information. At the bottom, you are trying to show the regions. At a regional level, you want to show what is the sales happened. So that means your measure becomes one which you are calculating. What you do the calculation, you will never do a calculation on regions, right? You'll never do United Kingdom plus USA. You'll never do a sum of USA plus Canada. This is a text information. So whenever you find any text information, that's always considered to be a dimension. All right. So measure is something, a sales number, whatever the number format you are seeing, that is called as a measure. So you always work closely with these two terms, that is measures and the dimensions. All right. So measures are nothing but, again I repeat, it is nothing but whichever field you try to apply some calculative measures, or you can say whatever the calculations you are trying to perform on a particular column. Okay. For example, sales is a one of the thing definitely to go with, and volumes. For example, how many volumes being processed by my team members. So that column is considered to be a measures. And your teammate names, for instance, there's a best example. You have a team members names in a column. In a B column, you have how many volumes they processed today. So A and B, if I need to look at the data instantly, it should trigger my mind what is measure and what is dimension in this. If you are really quick in identifying, then you are good to go. Almost 30% job is done. So that means team name, team names. For example, I have 500 team members are working under me. All these names are considered to be dimensions. And what is measures? Whatever the volumes they cleared, that is measure. Why I'm selecting that volumes as a measure, the reason is I can put all those calculations. I want to do a sum of volumes. I want to do an average of volumes. I want to find the minimum person who has done volumes in this. I want to find out who is the person who has done the maximum volumes in this. What are the terminologies I'm using? Some min, count, what are the formulas which you use basically in Excel? Okay, the same kind of terminology functions I'm using here, nothing new. So whatever these calculations you are trying to apply, it will be applied only on the number format, but not on the text format. That's what I'm referring here. Measures always will be in the number formats, and the dimensions always are text. Please do remember, we'll never perform any action on dimensions. Okay, on the team numbers, you'll never try to find out this guy plus this guy. Never you'll do some calculations or count of your employee names, or you'll never try to do any mathematical operations on that. So whenever any field considered to be mathematically you're putting, that is considered to be a measure. All right. All right, the very first one, again, I repeat, Qliksense app, we have seen it's nothing but an app, a collection of sheets, and each sheet will talk about any graphical presentation. It could have anything from A to Z, kind of a dash visualizations it can have. Measures are nothing but those where you can apply mathematical operations, because we are dealing with graphs, right? So obviously we need to decide ourselves who are, nobody is going to guide us. We need to decide ourselves by looking at the data, which column is calculative column and which one is not. So whichever is not, that is considered to be dimensions, and whichever is to be calculated, that is a measure. That's how I remember. That's an easy way, in fact. So let's talk about more about sheets actually. Sheets, what exactly, as I mentioned, is going to contain only a data visualizations, such as any charts or tables, your KPIs. So before, once you create your app, you need to start creating a structure in your app. So that means structure in the sense like I should decide before I start the project, I should decide how many pages should I have. And what is the name I should give for the first page? What should be the second page name? What should be the third page name, fourth page name, fifth page name? It depends, 100 pages or 2 pages or sometimes 1 page. So you need to be very clear before you actually make your dance hands dirty on your ClickSense, how my pages should be arranged, how my app should look like, what is the logo I want to put there, what is the picture I want to put there. All the beautifications things you need to start doing it before you actually talk about the data, before you actually talk about the visualizations. All right. So as we have discussed about what is a ClickSense app and ClickSense sheet and the measures and dimensions, for example, you are creating an overview of a company, let's say some bank, for example, or any manufacturing company. So what basically you try to look into that? There are some key metrics you'll try to pick it up. Okay. Key metrics of sales and margins by state or by region, by country, by city. Instead of having all this information in one place, you could structure it, have one sheet for each purpose. That is going to be wonderful. Each sheet has a purpose and has an idea in its own. That means you can create one sheet for only particularly talking about regions. One particular sheet is talking about only country's performance. One sheet is talking about only city information, maybe, or state information, maybe. That's what we have seen some dummy project when I'm going through. What clearly I understood and stealed some ideas. I could able to steal some ideas from that particular app is the guy who has created very intelligently the first page like welcome page, where he's trying to tell me what this page is, next upcoming pages is going to be. Then he started slowly showing me the performance in the first page, second page, third page. Then he started with the next new topic. Then he started with the other sheets. Finally, he's trying to club all the sheets information into one sheet where I can try to see the overall global information in a single page. Okay, this is how the other person developer, or BI developer mindset. Now, what is my mindset? Now, what is your mindset? It's all depends upon the project requirement again. The way I created it doesn't mean that you need to create, because you have your different mindset and your data is not matching with my data. You are from sales department, I am from HR department. Obviously, we are uh, not same. Though we are, our intention is to create a dashboard, the structure of the dashboard is going to be entirely different. Finally, your aim being in sales, my aim being in HR, we want to show some key metrics on the dashboard so that our customers can take a decision. Our management can take a decision. So based on that, the business can start growing, right? So why I'm taking a decisions, because so that I can plan my future. I can also plan some what do you call offers for my customers, maybe. Okay, I can put some strategies how my next move should be so that I can attract more customers, so that I can make more profits by selling the same product or giving more offers. These kind of dimension, these kind of additions, when I want to take, obviously I need facts and figures. And who's going to provide me all these facts and figures? I can never get myself from the data, because the data is massive data. It is millions, trillions of data. As a manager of the company or the CEO of the company, I cannot go to the Excel and see what is my sales performance, who is performing, which region I'm doing my best. No, I can't do that. I need somebody to develop me a dashboard so that I can sit back and relax and see what is happening in each region, what is happening with the XYZ product, who is performing very well, what are the drawbacks of this particular single store which is there in the Hyderabad. Okay, I can start analyzing by looking at the facts and figures which are provided by my BI developer. All right, so let's try to start creating an app. So what I mean creating an app, so first I want to create the folder kind of a structure. Then I want to ask myself what are the different pages I need. Then I want to nicely name each page with a proper naming convention. Then I want to do some beautification to my pages. So the very first step we need to do is, if you look at the surroundings of this particular page, whether you're working for an enterprise version, whether you're working for a uh, desktop application, whether you're working for the cloud, which you are seeing on my screen right now, doesn't matter. The very first option will always have add new. In some cases, in enterprise in which I work, I have something called create app. But here we have something called add new. So it doesn't matter, both are same. What they are referring is just do what you want to do here. So when I click on this, there are a lot of options which you can see here, but I'm not trying to, I'm interested in those options. I want to create an app. Slowly we'll try to go, what are the other apps? The second option here talking about upload an app. First of all, I have not created any app yet, so that's why I'm not interested to talk about it. So let me click on the very first option here, that is new analytics app. Okay, I'm creating my own app for the first time on the screen. Once you click on that, a beautiful dialog box comes up on your screen. It's asking you politely, can you please give a nice name to your app? Please do remember whatever the name you're giving right now. If you think it's not the right name, somebody, my boss asked me, boss, what is the name you're given, can you change it? Anytime you can change it, but for now I'm just saying my first dashboard. Though it doesn't make sense, anytime we can change it. All right, the next very important, for me it's not important at this moment, but it's talking about a space. Okay, so if you're working in organizations, they will have different spaces in the sense, right now I'm working on my personal space. That means this app is only visible to me in corporate, not to everyone. It is personal to me only. That means whatever the app I'm developing now, it is going to sit on my system only until unless I share with anyone. So if you're working with any organization, what they do is they will try to create a three options here. One is personal, one is development area, one is production environment. You're always allowed to create on your personal, you're always allowed to create on the development area, but not on the production. Production is something, once you complete your job, the app will go and sit on the production. But production, you'll never have an access. Okay, until unless you're an admin, you'll never have an access. So you'll have access to personal. Personal is, of course, personally. You can do whatever you want. Development area in the sense, wherever the app which is you are trying to create, everybody can see that. That means one of my subordinate who is also working along with me on the Qliksense, he or she also can edit my app. She can also, I can assign some job to her. In fact, she is sitting idle, so let me ask her or him, can you start designing my first page so that I'll concentrate on the second page. So that's how you can start sharing that app, building together as a team. So that's what I'm saying. Space at this moment being, I'm working on a free app called Qlik Cloud. So don't worry about this. Once you join any company as a BA developer, they will first tell you which space to be used. You cannot use whatever the space you want. They will definitely guide you. That is the first kind of a training which they are going to give you. The second one is description. As you know, description in any programming language or anywhere, like it's like a comments. Comments are nothing but I'm trying to build a story here. Description in the sense, what is the purpose of the app which I'm trying to create? It is purely optional, but if you go, it's always good. You can put some comments. This particular app has been designed for so and so purpose and so date, so and so requirement. I have an approval for this, and we are in the still process. Whatever the story you want to build, you can put all this description here. Okay, it's only a description. This is additional information about your app. That's it, as simple as that. Tag, in real time, we'll never have this tab. Tag is something which I'm newly seeing. Tag is nothing but when you're trying to search any app, okay. For example, this is sales related. If I say tag as sales, what happens is it will try to show, is this particular kind of dashboard already existing? Can I tag under this sales dashboard? So we never use it, in fact, actually, because you are working for an organization. It's we are not into the social media or something, so we never tag anything. So just leave it for now. We have something called create or cancel. I don't want to cancel it, just create it. Once you click on it, it will try to create that entire folder structure, which will take some time. Sometimes it's very quick, Good. Now you can see, you can quickly identify which is my app which is created. That is, there are three apps here. One is automotive, one is one is some analysis, and there is a my first dashboard. If you look at, it is also telling, you cannot hide when you created actually, because it's clearly telling you updated few seconds ago. That means after 1 week, if I open, it will say updated 1 week ago. That means that is how it is going to track your time when it is developed. All right, so this is my app which I've created. Looks by default in blue color. All right, because you have not placed any picture, it is allowing you to create some picture on this, because I want to create some nice picture on this based on my requirement. Okay, requirement is always different. If I'm keeping some funny graphic on this, it doesn't mean that that's the end of the world. You can put whatever the graph. It's always better to consult your developers to what kind of image should be the right image here, because you're working for a certain process, right? So you try to put only that image which is relevant to that. If you're practicing, it's all well, good to go. But when you're working in a real time, never try to play with the images, because that plays a very, very important role. Because the moment you look at the image, I can make it out. This is talking about a sales, this is talking about a production, this is talking about some manufacturing one. You can make out. So image talks lot. That's why we are creating a dashboards, because I can't read the data. Okay, millions of data. So by looking at an image, so-called graph, I'm able to easily understand. So here also plays a very important role. Please do remember, guys, we have to put a thumbnail. We can call it as a thumbnail. Okay, that's a tricky word, thumbnail. So once you create this one, now what should I do now? I want to create a pages, right? So if you want to create a pages, the moment you place a cursor on your mouse, it is trying to tell you something. What is that? It is it is telling you open the app. So let me open the app. Once you click on the app, it will try to open within a few seconds or so. Depends upon the speed of your server. As we are on the cloud, it should not take much time. Uh, yeah, that's it. All right, so the my app is open, but there are a few questions being asked to me politely. That is, get started adding data to your app. The question is, do you have a data? Am I really interested to create upload the data, start creating the visualizations? Okay, so I'm not interested in the data at this moment, but I want to understand what are these two terminologies, because you cannot create an app without the data. That's what you need to remember. I want to create an app, though it may not have a visualizations, but it will never allow you to create those things, pages also, until unless when you don't put some stuff here. That means there are two ways of creating data here. One is, let's try to understand two terminologies. One is data manager, okay, adding files from files and other sources. That is, you're trying to add a data from files and other sources. Second one is script editor. What if I say the first option is available for those people who never programmed in their life? Yes, that's true. If you have never programmed in your life, you don't know how to write the script, how to write the code, not to worry. The first option is only for you. But no, we don't want to go for the first option, because that is the easiest option. We want to go for the second option. We want to write the script. We want to learn the toughest part so that we can get the complete control over your coding, right? So don't be worried if you've never coded, absolutely fine. I'm here to explain you each and every step to how to write the code, how to make your visualizations more robust so that you'll have a full control. As I said, the very first option is talking about something, just add the data. It's like a drag and drop option. All right. So there are two things here, data manager, data load editor. One is data managers kind of thing and load editor kind of thing. Two things, graphical presentation. One is a uh, hard way of writing the script. That is writing your own script to get the data from your files or SQL, whatever. All right. So two things, the moment you open the app, this is what it looks like. But once you load any data, it will not show you the screen, because only at the starting stage, it will ask you, boss, do you want to upload a data here? Yes, no, you need to upload it. But before uploading also, I want to do certain cosmetic changes, I can say, which I want to add. Let us try to notice each and everything on the screen right now. It is telling me this is in blue color, nothing but thumbnail, because I'm not changed it. I don't have any image, so it's showing in blue color. This is my app name. That is my first dashboard. That is your app name. Second time, it is a string trying to tell you data loaded at what time. Of course, I'm not loaded any data, and it is not telling me the exact time. So whenever you load data, it will always try to show at what time the data is loaded. That really helps the developer to understand whether this month this dashboard is refreshed or not with the latest data. That's how you can track the information. At this moment, it's not showing because I haven't started any data model here. The next one is, this is additional information about your app. What it is talking about, it's talking about the additional information, nothing but description what you have written. It is just trying to show you. So this is what I'm more interested to understand from this page. The right side, if you see, there is a pen kind of thing where it's trying to tell you, come on, go ahead and start editing if you want to do anything editing. Let me see what it will tell me when I click on the right side. First one, edit. Okay, this is a thumbnail which you created yourself, blue color, you are interested, so it's looking the same. This is additional information, and this is my first dashboard name of the app. Now let me click and see what happens here. Once I click on this, it is trying to tell me again, still you have a scope. If you want to change your name, you can change it. If you want to change the additional information what you have given, you can also change, right? So the first and priority, though it is not priority, but I want to make it priority, because once you start your journey right from the beginning, designing all these things will become a habit. You will never come back again to start designing the graphical presentation on your thumbnails or images or anything. So I'm the starting page, I want to see everything. I clicked on it, I want to change any name, I can change it, I can change the description. At the same time, there is a spelling mistake, so I want to change it, so I change it. So this is a good opportunity where I can edit it. When I look at my this thumbnail again, it is telling me something looking like an image. I think when you change thumbnail, excellent. So that means I don't know what to do when I look at that particular position. When I click on this, also I don't know what is this. But never worry. Just place your mouse pointer. It will tell you what this function is going to do. That's why it's considered to be Qliksense or any other BI tool. It's easy to learn because it is telling you. There's no need to ask anybody what to do with this one. It is telling you stop editing. I don't know what is this image. Let me place my mouse pointer. It's telling me change the thumbnail. Excellent. So that means I can change my thumbnail. Thumbnail is nothing but the external application image which you want to place on your app. Nothing but what you have seen automotive or analysis apps, they have certain kind of images. So let me click on this, the very first one, which I'm trying to do some beautifications for my app. The moment I click, it is telling me two things. Being this is the first time I'm getting into this cloud, I don't have any images yet, right? I don't have any images here. If you look at my screen, actually there are no images. If I have images, there will be a list of images here, but I never worked in this environment. So obviously you'll not have any images. What exactly I can do is, if I start looking at this very closely, there are no media files in this library. It's telling me upfront there is no images, but here there is something called close. I don't want to close because I have some work here. It is telling me in app. In app, in the sense, in this app, there are no images yet. So what is the next thing I want to do is, okay, there is an option called upload media. What is upload media is nothing but you want to upload certain images into your Qliksense server on this particular window, then you want to start consuming it for your dashboard. Let's see how it works. So I clicked on upload image, but nothing is happening. But if you look at the right side, there is something called drop files here or click to select. Okay, there are two options given here. Either you can drag and drop some image here directly, or you can click on this option. Choice is yours. Either you can just drag and drop there. Otherwise, you can select a file from here. So let me see if I have any images here. I have something called image here. You can select this one also, this one also. Let me select something. Doesn't make any difference here. I selected some image, but it's still trying to load. Once it is loaded, what you can do is double click on it. That image should be start applying a new. Okay, let me close this first. Okay, click on this because you just loaded an app. Okay, this is the image. I said insert. Okay, once you say insert, you'll be finding that image on your graphic. So let me close this. I am not understanding what thumbnail changing here means. Let me go to my main page. That is where I started my journey. That is nothing but where I landed up at the username, password. After that, the next screen, what you have seen is apps landing page, right? So I want to go to that app landing page. I want to see what is that modification I've done in my app. Yeah, all right. So once you look at the screen, which is not yet dropped in, Oops. All right, you can see here there is something called an app which with beautiful image. That image can be anything, guys. For fun's sake, I just added one thing, but never try to go with when you're working in a live environment some funny images. Try to put some appropriate image that is only one condition. Okay, you can see here updated a minute ago, right? The time is getting changed. Earlier it was showing 6 seconds ago, now it's showing 1 minute ago, right? All right, I just started opening again because I want to see how it looks like in full-fledged along with the other apps, how it looks like. I want to see. I could able to see that. So that is the only two functionalities what you do here. Either you change name of your dashboard, either you can change your image. Anytime if you think this image is not appropriate, your boss said this not image to be used, just click on this cancel button and start uploading a new image. It's quite easy. Once you think like this is the thing what I'm looking for, this is what I want to do it, simply click on stop editing. Yeah. Once you stop editing, what happens is your page, the editing part is done. Now the changes have been saved. Okay, the changes have been saved. Now, one question I need to answer to my ClickSense, am I going to add a data or not? Because it's still waiting to take my answer. Either you want to add a data or you want to go with the script editor. Choice is yours. You want to go for add data from the graphical presentation, either you want to go for a script editor. Guys, the first option I've been telling you again and again, if you think that option is only available for those people who never programmed, those who have never used a script. But let's assume I'm not a good developer. I don't know the coding. I don't know the scripting. I can start using the first option and create the nice, beautiful dashboard for my company. But you are a hardcore developer who knows the in end of the ClickSense. You know how to write the script and all. You can go for the script editor. Now the question is, what is the difference? You are working very smartly with a drag and drop option. I'm writing through the script. Are we really different? Yes, at the same time, no. Why yes? Because both are us. We are both whatever we are thinking like end goal is to create a dashboard. We are able to satisfy that particular condition, right? But the second condition is you are more far better than me because you are writing through the script and you have the complete control on your coding. Anytime any changes to be done, you can easily do, but it's not me. I cannot do that easily because I just dragged and dropped. I don't know where the data is going to sit and what are the transformation I'm supposed to do. Okay, however, but we'll also see the very first option, but we'll try to stress more on the second option, which is going to be very fun way of learning. The first one is just drag and drop. Let me see how to drag and drop. For that, you need to have some Excel file in your system. Let me go to a desktop, Qliksense. There is some file called sales. Okay, very easy. Just click on your Excel file, CSV file, whatever the file you have. Just go to your go to your screen and before I paste something, I don't know where to paste, but it's politely saying drop the files and add the data. Okay, let me just drop the file. Now what is happening is I just grabbed and dropped the file onto my ClickSense interface. This is the easiest way to add the data to your ClickSense. We'll see later where the data is reading, but how the data is uploaded, this is what we uploaded the data. Now it is telling you it depends upon the size of your data. It will take some time. If it is a million rows or 100 rows, 1,000 rows, I don't know because the data size always keep changing, right? Once the data is successfully loaded, you'll screen the very first screen called data was loaded successfully in what seconds, what minutes, what hours. It will tell you very clearly with the elapsed time. So that's it. I close this. All right, so I reached to another screen here once I added a data. As I said, I just did a smart work here, dragged and dropped. I've not written any script. Till now, haven't touched writing any script. I don't know scripting here. Now the question is how the data looks like. Because I'm more interested to see how the data looks like so that I can really, while I'm doing something, I can really do some changes, or you can just think about it like what I'm talking about. So this is a sales information dummy data. Don't worry about what is this data, how it looks like. Just try to have a look what are the columns we have. We have date column, we have a state column, we have a region column, we have a sales amount. Very, very pretty straight column names. There is no need to ask somebody what are these columns to understand more. But in real world, we need to talk to people to understand data. Here, it's a simple data what I've taken, which is more or less talking about which date, in which year, which state, which region, what sales. That's it. We have some simple information here, which I dragged and dropped already into the Qliksense. Now, once I dragged and dropped the data into my Qliksense, you won't believe it will not take even a less than a 10 minutes. I can start creating the dashboard based on the data what I pasted. But I'm not in hurry because I don't know how to create the visualizations at this moment. Just please do avoid this page at this moment because this is a very easy page I can say, which I don't want to do that. All right. I don't want to go to this page. What I want to do is I want to create a new sheet. Okay, I want to create a new sheet. There are a lot of things to be understood here, but I'm not explaining anything because here today's my job is to create a beautiful app with only pages. That's it. So let's go to the sheet directly. I'm going to the sheet, click on the sheet here. Right side, there is an option called sheet. All right, once you click on the sheet, we have an empty sheet, which is a grayed out. And it's clearly telling you on every step of your creating of your dashboard is nicely telling you what this page is all about. It is telling this sheet is empty right now and click at the edit sheet at the top to start editing your sheet and create visualization. Beautiful. That means it is telling me, even if I don't know how to create a dashboard, it is telling me if you want to do something, please click on the right side above. There is a green color button, edit sheet. Once you click on edit sheet, you can start creating the visualizations here. But that's not my main job here. I want to create sheets only now. So let me see how to create a sheet here. There is an option at the top. Okay, there is an option at the top where it says sheets. All right. Once you click on that, what happens is it will show you a dialog box where it is going to tell you, okay, you are in the first sheet. Do you want to create one more sheet? Okay, let me create. There's a one more sheet is created. Do you want to create one more sheet? All right. Do you want to create one more sheet? Okay. So that means I'm started creating my series of sheets, but this sheet doesn't have a proper name. How to give a proper name? Let's see in a couple of minutes. But before that, try to understand how I created a sheets. Again, how many number of sheets I'm supposed to create? Is there any hard and fast rule? Never. It's all depends upon your requirement. Before you jump onto this Qliksense app or about to create my project, please put your hands on your data first and put your hands on the piece of paper. Ask yourself how many pages I want, what each page name should be, and what my app name should be, what you want to display on the first page, second page, third page, how do you want to summarize it, what are the different elements you want to use. If you have everything in your mind, it will take less than 5 minutes to create the dashboard. That's my challenge. You can create any dashboard less than 5 minutes if you have all these things ready with you. That means it's 70 to 80% of your time should go in understanding data and preparing for the project, preparing the project. All right. So that's how I created the first page. Let me double click on the first page. Let's see what happens. Okay, I've landed into the very same page again, my new sheet. That means I'm in the first page. Now, let me go back to the home open hub. In other enterprises, you'll have a back. Okay, here open hub. Hub is nothing but where you have a collection of apps, nothing but your first tab. I'm just going back again to see what is there. And I almost created already 4 pages without anything, of course, but I could able to manage to create 4 pages at this moment. So let's land into our Qliksense app here once again. That is my first app. Once I double click on this, you should be seeing the way you have seen the demo. There are like 15 or 16 pages. If I remember correctly, there are 15 or 16 pages. Now you are going to see the same pages, that kind of pages in your app as well. That means it is going to display how many pages you have in your current dashboard. Currently, how many dashboards you have in your pages in your app. How many pages we have? 4 pages. The moment if you look at the top, my eyes are going at the top because there's a beautiful image here. At the same time, the very second line is to be noted. On November 9th, sorry, November 8th, 2020, 5:46 p.m. What I was doing is I was sitting on my computer and loading the data. That is what it is trying to tell you. right? The data load time, it is trying to tell you which day, which year, which time, which minute, which second, it's what AM or PM, it's clearly mentioning. So you have a tracking methodology, whether you have loaded the data, if it is loaded, next time when it is updated, everything, you'll get the app information at the very starting level itself. All right, so that's about the app information. Because I just loaded the data, my eyes are still going there to see when it is loaded. Now I'm rest assured, like the data is already loaded. Now, I have a page here. I have a page here. Two, three, four. I can create a page, one more page by just clicking on this. Very easy, very good. Is there any other way of creating? Of course, you can create a new sheet from here. How does that is different? Second option, nothing like that. Just a second option. Otherwise, you can just keep clicking on this to get a more pages. Now, let me click on the very first page to see what all I can do with the pages. What is this tiny exclamation symbol is showing? Details. So that means let me click on this detail and see what details it is going to provide me. Once I click on the details, you are hiding, not interested. All right. So once I click on that detail exclamation symbol, so-called that image, it is trying to tell me, boss, you can change this sheet name. You do you want to change it? Okay, let me click on this. There's other way of changing, but let me concentrate here, because at the starting level it is telling me, do you want to change the sheet name? You can change here. Okay, let me say home page. Why I'm saying, because that's my first page, I want to say home page. It's nothing like that. You need to follow the same thing. You might have already prepared your homework on a piece of paper about your project, so go with your idea, not with what I'm typing here, because it's just that we are trying to create the structure of your app here. All right, so that's how I created the app. But the beauty of this particular app is, once you create the image for your app, not only that, for each page you can create one more image. That means each individual page, for example, the first page is related to sales, I can create a sales image there. Second page is related to employee related, so I can give an employee image there. Image, I'm talking about image, so nothing but just click on this again. As usual, I have only one image here. The good part is, whatever the image you already loaded, it will still showing in this your box, so that you can use this image anywhere else if you want. But I'm not interested, this image is already been used. So let me go for any other image if I have in my system. Just click on your uh, drop the files. You can drag and drop, as I said, but also you can get the image. For example, I want to go for this Qliksense, just like that, for fun. Once I say that, the image is loaded. Now close it again. Okay, close it again. Just go this and see that your image is already available. You can also see the preview. What is this first image? I don't know. Okay. What is this fourth image? Okay. Let me insert that. So that means your second image is also ready for your page. Guys, I'm talking about an image for your page, not for the app. App is already done. I've done my job. I'm talking about here creating an image for your page itself. Of course, as an end user, nobody can see what are these images. They can never get into this kind of environment, because as an end user, you might have noticed that you will be seeing only dashboard, but what are the number of pages you have behind the scenes, how the coding is done, nobody can see that as an end user. As an end user, you cannot see that. All right. So as an end user, you cannot see what images. This is only for your, I can say, satisfaction, which is not an appropriate word. But as a developer, I want to be more specific when I'm creating pages. I want to give a proper logo, proper thumbnail, so that I can understand what I'm doing. All right. So second one, let's me go for the second one now. I have the second page, which is basically I want to create a sales performance. Maybe I'm just giving it time, because I'm creating a structure here, not really developing anything. I didn't like this image. I want to go for some other image. So let me go for another image here. Maybe I'm interested in this one. So let me say, okay, then okay, once you double click, you can also double click. Actually, I was not doing that. You can double click and see that the second image is already available for your sales performance. Now, what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to prepare myself for this completion of this project. I created my app. I given a proper name. I also loaded the data. I given the thumbnail for my app to recognize by people. I also giving nicely each page some beautiful image. That image could be anything, again and again saying, it doesn't mean that you can just go and Google it and copy some background images the way I'm doing. You have to go with your company, take the appropriate logo, appropriate images to be applied on your pages. All right, let me go to the first page. Okay, let me go to the first page. I'm into the very first page of my visualizations. If I look at this page, actually, I'm hardly getting anything here because my intention is not to create any visualizations yet. I want to do some beautifications. So, what are the name I've given? If you observe, it is trying to display here, home page. And here there is nothing here because I have not created anything else. Okay, so let me click on edit button and see what all I can do with this particular page. So once you click on edit page, there are few dialog boxes which you need to understand being the beginner in the Qliksense or any BI tool. Okay, so the right side, what you see, let me just, okay, right side, whatever you see, this is a complete a blank canvas. Okay, it's like a black dashboard where you can start writing your story. In our case, start building that visualizations. It's a plain canvas. It doesn't have anything at all at this moment. So you are the one who is going to design as per your business requirement. When I look at the very first block, there are two blocks actually. There are two different blocks, but it's showing as a single block here. The first block is talking about what are the key elements which you can apply in your dashboard. The first one you see, it is talking about fields. So once you click on fields, it is trying to tell me what are the different columns you uploaded, what kind of data you uploaded. If I remember correctly, my Excel data is consists of four columns: date, region, sales, and state. So those are the four columns which I've added, and those columns are clearly showing to me by my Qliksense. Yes, it have created four columns. It's showing me four columns. Still, I don't know where the data is residing because I'm not going to the data part today because I want to just be comfortable with this tool so that I can play around. So the next one, talking about master items. Master items are nothing but any graph, for example, or any data. If you think this particular graph, I'm going to repeat in every page. Let's assume that image you can create as a master item, and that item you can keep using in every page. Maybe you're not clear at this moment, we'll see practically, but you just remember master item is nothing but any image if you want to keep repeating in every page. For example, I created a beautiful KPI with blue color with lot of number format, and it's really looking beautiful. So I want to repeat the same kind of format style of KPI in every page. So in that case, you are going to create that particular graph or KPI or whatever as a master item. At this moment, no importance, but just keep in mind there is an option called master item. Okay, you can see here at the top right side, it's telling what are the dimensions, what are the measures, so visualizations, alternative states, lot of stuff. When you come to master items, we'll slowly try to pick it up what are these elements. But very important factor here is charts. Once you click on that, I don't know how many charts are available. Just look at your screen. It is telling you, I am there, bar graph, box plot, bullet chart, button, combo chart, container, filter pen, gauge chart, histogram, KPI. The list goes on. Okay, the list goes on, but I don't know how to use them. We'll start picking up each graph slowly and understanding its importance. And by default, it shows some color, some style, but I'm not happy because my business requirement is more. So you can enhance it with your writing your own script. Either you can use default properties in order to enhance it. All right, guys. So that's about the charts. At this moment, let's not about more, but this is a location where you'll find your charts. Custom objects in the sense, these are also called as charts, but these are designed and developed by Qliksense later, and with every version, they are pushing into the Qliksense software. So these are not the default charts available actually. Default charts available in Qliksense is this. These are additional charts which are they are trying to still develop and design and make available for the public. So these are custom object, means customized objects which are created for our use. So that means either you can use these objects, either you can use as standard charts. Again, which chart to be used, I'm not sure here. Because I'm a big fan of bar chart. Can I use bar charts in every page? No. I'm a big fan of pivot table. Can I use pivot tables in every? No. It's all depends upon your requirement, what your customer is asking from you. Based on his requirement, you need to start creating. But we'll try to go very slowly in understanding when, how, at what situation we are supposed to use a bar chart. Though it is a favorite or not favorite, you love it or you hate it, but you should know at what exactly the situation we have to use this. Once you have this idea, Once you have this idea, what graph to be used at what situation, definitely you can going to do wonders. It's not your favorite. It's about business favorite. It's about the customer requirement. Okay, customer is asking a bar graph, which I hate it actually, but still you have to create it because the business requirement is to create a bar graph. But you should also discuss with the business. Bar graph is not appropriate because I hate it. No, bar graph is not appropriate because it is not suitable for this kind of a data set. You can talk only when you know which graph does what, which graph to be used at what situation. We'll talk about more about this charts little later, not little later, maybe coming up. But today, just creating the styling of my sheets, that is more important today. All right, recording. All right, so we have just created all the sheets, necessary sheets. We understood what are the different windows available in which we can navigate to. Let me double click again this app, which we just created, and it's going to open within few seconds, just showing you up what are the different pages we have in this page. I repeat, I'm not an end user here. I'm a developer. I'm developing an app. So that's how I'm able to see all the pages at once on my screen right now, because I was the one who is going to design and develop this graphical presentation with the help of a dashboard. As an end user, he will never see the structure what we are seeing on the screen right now. So let me go to the first sheet again. We have seen how to create a thumbnails also. You can create for the rest of the sheets. Just double click on it. Once you double click on that, now I want to understand how the page can be designed. Okay, not with the graphics, but how to design this page with a ribbon at the top, giving my company logo. I want to give a standard ribbon at the top. So how to design that? Let's see. So to do anything, first we need to click on edit sheet. Once you click on the edit sheet, as we already seen, we got certain things called at the left side. We have called fields. Fields is nothing but what are the fields you have right now. This is how the your canvas looks like initially. But based on the selection, what you do here, the first one I want to see what are the fields I have. Right now we see only 4 fields, but tomorrow we have thousands of fields here. You can still search here. Like I want to search for state. I can search like this. Okay, thus we'll see more because I have only few columns now. Master item, as I said, whenever you want to repeat any particular task, you can create as a master item so that you can use that particular object in number of pages. The next one is very, very important one, charts, because that is the ultimate goal here. You want to create the visualizations. Charts are these are the standard charts available by default, and every year or every 6 months, whenever a new development happens, they will try to push into this particular software that comes under the custom object, customized objects, which is created for further use. For example, there is a KPI object here. Okay, with the help of this object, I can create a KPI. But if I want to create a multiple KPIs, I don't have an option in the default one. If you go to the custom object, there is something called multi KPI. That means it's later on they have created this multi KPI and pushed into this software. So whatever the latest developments you always see in the custom objects. So for now, let's not look into the custom objects or charts because that is not my interest. I want to see what are the fields I could able to see this, and I want to edit the sheet. Edit the sheet in the sense, this is the first time you're looking at the sheet, you want to do certain changes in the sheet. Let's see, every object will have its own its properties to enhance its style, right? So let's go here. But before going there, anytime if you feel this is looking very lot of space is being occupied, you can just hide assets. Once you click on that, nothing is seen on your screen right now, only canvas. You can start designing, but when you want to go back, just click on show hide. Show hide is nothing but whenever you want to create a big space for yourself to see the complete visualization which you prepared. Now here I'm into a edit mode. I'm showing back again this, and I want to do certain things. When you double click on this canvas, okay, you will get the right side a panel called a property sheets. Okay, what else attributes I can add to this sheet in order to make it enhanced worksheet? And please do remember, whatever the properties you are setting for this sheet, it is by default applicable for all the sheets. That means I'm trying to work on my home page, styling this particular page. Styling in the sense not putting graphs, but styling this page. How much size of the page should be, how many grids it should be. Grids in the sense these are the grids. Like it's showing us small boxes here. That boxes you can increase or decrease. You can also increase this page width and height. Everything you can do. But please do remember, whatever the changes you are doing right now, it is applicable for the all the pages. It's not for one page you're doing. All right, so let me go for the first page and see what all I can do. The first thing, you can change the page name anytime. The title which is trying to apply here, that is a home page. The next one is title expression. That means sometimes you want to put this title dynamically. The moment he clicks on Australia, the title you want to change Australia sales performance. Somebody clicks on UK, he want to show UK performance dynamically. You don't want to put a static text here, rather you want to put dynamic one. But at this moment I cannot do that because I don't know how to write the script, right? So this is a script area where you can write. Now the question is how you're saying directly by looking at that field. It's a script related text box. But here if I see, I can, it's a free text, right? I can write whatever I want. But here if I see, it is telling me fx. Fx is nothing but functions or the set expressions what you're going to write. Currently I'm not aware, I'm not writing anything. Okay, I'm leaving it, parking it for some time, because we'll definitely come back to this position again and again. And here this description is nothing but you are trying to give more description for this page. It's once again optional. Here anytime if you feel that that the thumbnail should be changed, you can change it or remove the thumbnail. But thumbnail is very specific to the pages, guys. All right, so the next one is grid spacing. Grid spacing in the sense, if you look at the grid is spaced by default to wide. Wide in the sense the grids are the it looks like a normal Excel file, right? The Excel will have each cells. It has its own width and size. Anytime we can increase the height of the cells, we can decrease the height of the cells. You can increase the width of the cells, you can decrease the width of the cells. The same way we have here grid spacing. These are the called as the grids. So currently by default is showing width, but I'm not liking it. I want to make it a medium. Just look at it, what happens the grid spacing when I change to medium. Medium is the grid size has changed to medium style. That means the grids has become to a medial style. When I change to this one to narrow, what happens? The grid has become more narrowed fashion now. So this is all about a grid spacing, how much space you want to give for your pages. So that means when I'm creating a bar graph here, within that grid I can adjust my graph. When I'm creating a pie chart here, when I'm creating a line graph here, I can adjust my graphs according to these grid sizes, because your graphs are going to sit within these grids. How you want this style to be? Narrow, medium, wide. We have three choices here. We can go any of the choice. At this moment, you might not understand what is this grid spacing is and all, but when you start putting the graphs, you'll understand, yes, my choice is not wide, let me go for a medium. My choice is not medium, let me go for a narrow. That's how your mindset will start thinking. You will start thinking how the grid sizing should be as per the pages. So at this moment, just have an idea. The grid spacing is changing whenever I'm changing here. Grid space is now very big, wide. I can say it is somewhat medium, not bigger than your wide. When you go for a narrow, it's very, very small. Okay, so that's how the grid spacing works. Please do remember whatever the properties I'm talking about, these properties are basically are to enhance your dashboard capabilities, to make it more look beautiful, the size and width and everything. The next one is responsive. Sheet size in the sense, by default, when you look at your Google page, okay, www.google page, it doesn't have any scroll bar. Okay, it is fixed. The page is fixed. But some web pages you might find, for example, Facebook, for that matter. Facebook, when you just log in, you have first page. But if you want to go down and see your friend list, what you do is you use this scroll bar, right? You'll use this scroll bar to see what is your friend list, or what are the comments you received, what are different people have posted. That means the page is not a fixed one. It is flexible to move here and there. That means it has a very long page. In that case, I'm supposed to use what? The scroll bar. So that means by default, it is showing as responsive. That means it is fixed. But if I want to say custom, what happens is your page is going to be custom size. Custom size in the sense you'll find a scroll bar to scroll. Never try to change this option, because your page should be always a fixed size of page, but you should never put your graphs under the page so that the user can scroll and see his graph. Very difficult. I never seen that. It doesn't look really good, but however, we'll try to see how that kind of a dashboard looks like and normal page looks like. Okay, so currently if you see my sheet size is 100%, let's assume 100%. Once you say custom, what happens is your page will become 150%. That means 100% visible, and when you want to see the remaining 50%, you need to use the scroll bar to see what is the remaining part of the page. The best example is your Facebook. Facebook directly showing 100% page. But if you want to see what is underneath your other photographs or a friend list, what are the comments, what are the other posts, you need to use the scroll bar. So that means the page is very lengthy. You can make your page lengthy from 100% to 150%, 150 to 200%. That means whatever the page size is, it will try to double it. I mean, it will try to increase by 50%. So that is your custom, but by default, it will be a responsive style. All right. The next one is list view, small screen layout, and one is a grid view. This is the grid view. When you see, there's no much changes. But when you look at the list view, again, this is looks like this. But that means I'm not practically seeing anything here. But if you look at a list view, the advantage is whatever the graphs you are preparing, it is apt for your desktop or laptop visibility. But if you make it as a list view, the advantage is even the page which you have designed in the laptop for purpose, that page easily can be accessed through the mobile view also. You, most of you guys are already aware, when you look at your Google page or Facebook page in the mobile, looks vertically list view. When you're looking it in your off screen, that is a laptop or your desktop, it looks horizontally width, right? So that kind of facility you can bring in your dashboards, and by default it should be always in list view, so that this model what I am designing you can also view in your mobile, not only on desktop. So by default it should be in list view. Please keep it in the list view only. And next one is extend sheet. Okay, this is somewhat related, like sheet size, responsive or custom. And the next one is extend sheet. Whenever you click on extend sheet, what happens is your sheet will increased. You can see here there is an option came here, extend sheet. When I click on extend sheet, this sheet will extend by 50%. Now you can see my page is bigger than previous one. So never try to increase your size of your sheet. It should be always 100%, so that whenever somebody logs into your dashboard, it should show me only first page with no scroll bars, which is a very good user experience. If you want to show more graphs, go for another page. That's how it should be. But don't try to put all this graphs into one page so that the user can go to the down part and see the down part information. Never. All right, so that's what we have here. And next we have alternate states. There's not a right situation to talk about. I'll park it this again. The next one is actions. Actions also at this moment I'm not really comfort to explain. The reason is actions, what action you want to provide for this particular sheet. That means once you click on add sheet, add action, that means whenever trying to visit somebody is visiting this page, what kind of action you want to trigger, what kind of visualizations you want to show as a priority one. By default, assume that your page is showing global information. But whenever I'm visiting, I want to see directly the US information. You can put that actions here. Okay, it's hardly used, I can say, but it also important. It again depends upon your business requirement. But in, however, we'll try to see what this action in detail. But at this moment, I don't have any graphical presentation which can really show you how to use this action. So these are the different properties what you have for the sheets, where you can change the title, add your thumbnail. At the same time, you can show how the grid spacing is going to be narrow or medium, or what else you have, that is a wide, medium, and narrow. Sorry guys, so we are talking about the sheet properties. That's how I enhanced. Now if you look at, these are the properties. That's the final. Whether you are using a desktop, you are using an enterprise, you are using a cloud, these are the properties. That means wherever you go, you find only these properties. Once you master these properties, what happens is this will allow you to enhance the beautification of your sheets. All right, that's a beginning thing here. Once you can also go to your dashboard to see what are the different things we have. That means if you want to see when the data is loaded, what is your dashboard name here, what is the additional information which you are trying to provide, which you want to provide. All right. So once you've done that, there are other things which you can also apply, because when we are starting with the dashboard creation, we have seen the edit part, but we have not seen the second part. What is the second part? This is talking about app option. That means for this entire app, what are the options you want to put? So let me see what is the first option I can put. Once I click on that, there is a different set of options available. Please do remember, guys, I'm not really creating any visualizations at this moment. I'm trying to prepare my project and keep this app ready with all the pages and beautifications only. Okay, the very first option, if you see, there are two options which you will not find in the enterprise version, but it had two. We'll talk about later. The second one is right to left. That means always we'll try to see the information from right to left. In some cases, in the Middle East, probably they want to see the graphs from left to right. The way they read it, left to right, not from the right to left, right? So when you want your entire visualizations to be written or read by the end user from left to right, you can check this option. That once you make this left to right, what happens is right to left, if you switch on, that means the information you can start reading from the right side, not from the left side. This is basically uh, best suitable for the people who are working in the Middle East area. All right, so that is about the right and left option which you are trying to set for your dashboard. The next one is app theme. App theme right now, if I change also, you'll not see much difference. When you're trying to do the graphical presentation, you can try to see all these options. I mean, once you select this option, how your app is going to look like. You can also check all this different classic, focus, breeze, horizon. What are these? Let's say practically, instead of talking about it, nothing but theme. You are trying to set a theme for this particular, the way you try to set a background page, a background image, or your for your mobile settings, the kind of settings what you are trying to do for your app also. So we'll see practically this option which I'm leaving right now. Disable hover menu for the visualizations. That means when you place any mouse pointer on your visualization, you want to get information, more additional information. If you want to put it on, you can put it. If you want to switch it off, you can switch it off. This is one more option available. Again, we'll see practically. And this is what more interesting at this moment for me. That is the last one, sheet title styling. That means sheet tile styling, in the sense at the top of every page of my dashboard, I want to create a ribbon. What is that ribbon? Let's see practically. I want to keep red color at this moment. I said okay and say done for now. Once you say that, what happens is I want to go back again. I don't have any option here. Only thing is you need to click on this my dashboard again. You will come back. So what happens is now look at my dashboard. It's looking very beautiful. At the top there is a red color bar and showing me what is this page is all about. That is home page. Now the funny part is it is applicable for all the pages. I have not set for one page. When you go for the second page also, you'll see the second page is also been changed to red color. Okay, sales performance, my sheet 2. Every page is styled with the red color background as a top layer. Okay, is it really required? Yes, no. I have two answers, yes and as well as no. Yes, why? Because I want to make my dashboard very interesting and attractive. So I put some banner at the top, which banner is nothing but a background for your naming convention. What is the naming convention for this page? The moment I look at this page, I want to know what is this page is all about. So I can see at the top, okay, left side I can see this is home page. That's how I can see. Let me go back again to see what are the other things I can do. Go to the settings, and here there is something called second color. The first color already set. We can see the preview here only. I'll second the second one. I'll put white color. Okay. Once you put a white color or something, if you select this option, what happens is the red is trying to, okay, the red is trying to share a color with white color also. That means started with red color, ended with some light color. Maybe you want to set some other color. So it is started with red color, ended with some purple color. You can set some other color. You can play around to see what is this mean. I always love to put only one color, which makes really sense actually, because you're creating for a customer. So obviously try to put only one color. I'm putting both as a red color so that I can have a thick background layer at the top of my screen. All right, so that's a basic functionality. What I'm trying to still do is not the visualization, guys. I'm trying to create my app. I'm trying to design my pages, keeping ready for tomorrow use. So the next one is image. Okay, already I placed the image. Why it is asking me again image? This image is talking about the logo which you want to place on every page. The image is going to be placed either at before the home page or here or in the middle. Let's see where it plays. I'm clicking on this image. It is asking me again, can you place? Okay, I don't have images. Do you have? These are the default images we already have, but I want to upload my own logo of my company. Let's say I have something called Monty Excel here. Just opening it and double click on it. It is showing at the right side. I'm not interested at the right side. Can I make it a left side, please? Yes, you can. Can I make it in the middle, please? Yes, I can. Can I make it the right side? So it's all up to your requirement, how you want your logo to be appeared on every page, guys. Again, you are not doing for a specific page here. We don't have that options to make every page a unique page here. All this, whatever you're doing at the top as a banner, it is applicable for the every page in your app. All right. So that is about your alignment of your image. This is your image and this is a font color. You can easily guess which font I'm talking about. The information what you pasted here, which is by default a grayed out. That means that's the default color. However, we can change anytime to white color or something. Okay, you can see here it is changed. Now I want to make it more darker because it's not matching with my logo. But however, I cannot see dark red color here. But not to worry, you have a palette here. The palette will ensure you will get the right red color or bright blue color, whatever the color you are choosing. Okay, now you can see the red color is more red color now. It's not just normal red color. You can see it's completely changed. You can make it more. Okay, till you get the right color. There is no hard and fast rule here. It's all about your visualization and your way of thinking how you want the color to be placed at the home page. So that's about the creation of nice, beautiful title bar for each and every page. We have not missed any of the things here. I just missed appearance because I can't show you the appearance at this moment because I don't have anything on my screen right now. You need to have at least one graph so that I can tell you how my appearance is going to change. The insights also I didn't talk about it because I have no insights at this moment on my page. Anytime if I want to see my full screen back, either you can close on this, either you can click on at the top to see your page is now ready with beautiful visualizations at the top, beautiful title bar at the top, and the right side it is showing your logo, left side it is showing the logo, middle time it's showing the logo. My text is showing in white color, my text is showing in red color. Who is deciding? It's all you deciding as per your requirement. My company wanted always to show red color, I'm showing red color. It's not my wish. I like some other black color, but I cannot place it because it's all depends upon the business requirement. Sometimes they also advise sometimes the only default colors we need to use in the company. Every company has certain color codings which you need to follow those colors only, or sometimes if they are flexible you go ahead with your own style of colors. That's how I created. But let me see, I just did only change in this page or in every page. That is what my interest is. I'm going to the next page here because I don't have a buttons here. Oh, sales performance is also changed in the same color. Let me go for the next one. It's a my new sheet is 2 page. That is also same. So that means when I click on this and go to visit any page, for that matter, if I'm creating a new page altogether and I'm naming it as okay blank sheet for now. Okay, blank sheet. Of course, every page is a blank sheet here. I just clicked a blank sheet just to make you understand. Yes, the name is not changed. Okay, it's changed. Now blank sheet. Did I mention that I want a red color as a black background color? No. Did I mention I want a text color as a white? No. Did I mention somewhere for this page I want a logo? No. But whatever the changes you do for the app, this is applicable for all the pages. We do not have that facility of changing the settings for each page separately. Each page separately, we cannot do it. All right, so once the app is created with the skeleton with all the required sheets, now you want to create a quick insights from your data. So you're already aware how the data is looking like. We have some 50 or 60 odd lines in your Excel sheet, which is already uploaded into a Qlik Sense server. All right, so once it is uploaded, I'm clicking on this app overview. This can be achieved whatever the steps which I'm going to follow now, this can be achieved only when you are ready with the data and when you are already uploaded the data. Because once you upload the data, then only you are going to see the fields of that particular data, right? So once you load the data, then only your Qliksense is going to show you what are the fields available in your Excel file. Like we have a date, we have a state, we have a country, and we have some sales amount, right? So let me see how is this possible. At the top, there are three different options available where your end user is not going to see, because you are a developer, you have this access to see all this information. These three I will go in detail, but at this moment what I require, I'll just get into that. The first one is talking about data manager, nothing but where you try to create the data, which I already dragged and dropped, so I'm not getting into that. If you're doing it manually, writing script and loading the data, there I need to go. At this moment, I'm not going because already I dragged and dropped my data already. So the next one is analyze. Analyze in the sense I want to analyze my data to get the insights. Last one is storytelling, which is the last option. So here, what I want to do is I want to click on this option, click on insights. Insights in the sense, this is for those who never created a dashboards, or this is for those who never know like what are the steps to be followed quickly when you want to create a dashboard for yourself based on your raw data. All right, so once I click on this insights, the beautiful screen going to appear in front of your screen and going to analyze your data. My Qliksense is helping me out, guys. Nobody is helping me. My Qliksense is helping me analyzing my data. It's analyzing what are these fields this guy has loaded on to me, what are the insights I can give to him. So when you click on this generate insights, what happens is you start analyzing the entire data, and based on that, it will try to create some graphical information for your dashboard. For example, the very first graph which is created is, it is telling me the average sales for your entire data set. This is one. It is also counting some distinct state of 26, which is, that is what we have as states, 26 states in my Excel sheet. If I look at the next one, it is telling me the average sales by state. The next one beautifully created a pivot table that is top states by average sales. Then I can also see the other graphs, like this is called as a tree map, and this is called as a bar graph, uh, and this is something called bullet graph. This is something called again combo graph. Okay, we have a lot of graph which is already created by my Qliksense itself without my knowledge. Actually, being a developer, I should analyze the data, I should start creating that insights from my table, but Qliksense is having a smart engine which is trying to analyze by itself, because as I'm not aware, Qliksense is giving me advice. These are the different things which you can add to your sheet. Okay, if I'm happy with the first graph, what I can do is I can steal this graph without creating to my add to my sheet. Let me add to my first sheet, because there are a lot of sheets which I created. I want to go to my sales performance. I want to add there. It's already added. Excellent. I want to add this also to the sales performance sheet. Let me add to sales performance. Now I'll go to the next one, because this is looks very interesting for me. I'll go to this. I want to add to sales performance. You can add to any sheet, but I'm adding all to one sheet so that you can see all graphs at one place for now. Sales performance I added. Now I want to go to this tree map, also looking very beautiful. Let me add this to sales performance. And anything else? I am not hardly understanding these graphs, so I'm not interested. So once you have added everything, what you can do is you can simply click on the sheet where actually your sheets are existing. That means your sheet is now bundled with all those graphs which you have created, but I'm not able to see. But you need to remember in which page you have created, that my page is sales performance sheet. When I go to my sales performance sheet here, I can see all those graphs were already created by my Qliksense. These are the different graphs. Excellent. These graphs are already created. And who is analyze this data? I am not really, because I don't know how to create. But my Qliksense is helping me. These are the different insights which I created. I'm liking it, but the same thing, I didn't like the style of putting these graphs in a different locations. Maybe I can just click on the edit sheet, because I don't know how to create this, but I'm just taking the help of Qliksense. What I want to do is I want to put it more styling effect. So let me drag it and drop it here. Okay, this is all about clicking. I want to put this here maybe. Okay, so I'm just dragging and dropping and putting the graph the way I want. You need to hold that edges. Don't worry if you're not understanding what I'm saying, because I'm not creating by your own. I'm just depending on Qliksense. I want this graph to be placed here. Maybe I want this to be very small. I don't want this KPI to be shown that big because it's a simple KPI. I want to make it a little square now. Let me go as a block. Now you are understanding the impetus of the uh, grid. That means I cannot put this into between this grid. I need to touch any of the grid here. Now this is one grid and this is one grid. This is how I add it. It's looking more or less okay. Now I want to put this here. It's all about your styling, your wish, and your business requirement. I want to occupy 4 places: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is how you can count while you are putting this information. I dragging it. I really like this tree map. I don't know what it is, but it's really looking multicolor and looking beautiful. Let me put this little smaller. This I want to make it little bigger. That's it. Now the styling has become more beautiful. I can see the first one is showing as average sales. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. Literally everything is designed by my Qliksense. The only thing is I'm putting additional touch-ups like how to adjust these kind of graphs at the top. So the first one is showing averages sales done by all regions here, and I'm counting the distinct state of in my data, and it is also showing in the tree map how the distribution is being done. For example, South Carolina, how it is done, in the east how it is happening, in the central how it is happening. I'm trying to show in the average sales. If you look at the pivot tables, are also very neatly structured. I can see if I click on this plus mark, it's showing under the central what all we have for each year, what we have. But somehow I don't have any facility. If I want to filter out, in the sense I want to see what is happening in the Newark. I'm more interested in Newark. Let me click on the Newark and see what happens. When you just click on Newark, you can see the entire dashboard. Now I selected this portion. It's taking its time. If I'm clicking on Newark here, it's taking time. All right, so let me see any other South Carolina. Okay, once you selected some portion and you need to check this click. That means end user is trying to slice and your data. I'm now an end user, guys. As an end user, I'm slicing and dicing my data to see, because earlier if I am just canceling it, if you see this whole information is showing up based on my total data set, right? But if I want to see what is happening only particular in particular southeast region, what is happening in only in east region, what happens. So when I click on this, see what happens to the entire graphic structure. I just clicked on east now. So once I selected east, I need to say okay for this one. That means I need to confirm the selection so that the entire page has become only for east, guys. This entire page is talking about only east. What is happened in the east is average sales of 940 to 1 million, and the count of distinct years is 6, and this entire pivot table is also changed its behavior. Now it is showing only east, nothing else. It's really fantastic looking at this dashboard now, because it's slowly we are trying to grow and understanding things. But however, I done with my job to see in the east. Now I want to change the correction like I want to see southeast now. I don't see anything here where I can change to southeast, but I've selected something. How to unselect what you have selected? So at the top, if I look at here, anywhere I don't have an option because I'm not created either. Qliksense is suggesting this. You have something here. If you look at the moment you selected something, it is telling you selected east. Oh, really? Just click on cancel. Now entire dashboard will become normal. Come to the back to the square. So that means if I'm selecting something called Indonesia for central region, that means I've selected, I need to say okay for this. That means as a customer, I'm trying to see what happened in central in terms of average sales, in terms of KPI. You can see the KPI has changed actually. In fact, it was somewhere around 800. Now it's showing 633. That means the entire central has taken the average sales of for this data set is 634, and only 4 is the count. And if you can see at the central, these are the years. But somehow I'm not liking this anymore. I've seen central, but I want to see what happened in 2013 or 19 or 18. I'm more interested. So if I want to change, you already selected central here. I want to select 2019 now. Once I selected 2019, that means the entire graph is now changed. Now entire page is talking about only one thing: central 2019, nothing else. The entire page is talking about 2019 and central only. What if I want to see what happened in entire data set or in entire my sales performance only in 2019? Just cancel that central what you selected only, then your entire page will become only for 2019. That means if you see, I have central here, I have east here, I have north here, but every region is showing only 2019 information, but not anything else. But somehow I found this pivot table very small. I'm not able to see the entire picture. Don't worry, you can just full screen it as an end user. I'm talking about again as an end user. I'm trying to see the full screen whenever I'm happy. Okay, I'm not happy with this date to be at the bottom. I want date to be at the top and region should be at the bottom. Let me drag it and drop it. What happened now? Okay, the date came top. That means year has come to the top and the region came at down. That means end user can slice and dice your pivot table to see. Now, does it mean that he is trying to change what you have developed? Not really. Whenever he is visiting this page, whatever the operation is doing, it is only for one-time access what he is doing. But when next time when he visit, he will not see the same appearance again. He will see the way you developed already. Okay, the way you develop, the page is going to be look for him, but for now he's slicing and dicing just to see how the figures are going to be. For example, I'm just closing this again, I'm going back to other page. Let's assume I'm just visiting to other page for now and going back, and let's see how the style of your pivot table is going to be. Still showing the same because I'm still hanging out with this dashboard. Once I close it and open again, next time when I'm visiting to that dashboard, this date range will again change. I mean, the region will be at the top and the date will be at the bottom, because that's how you design. This is how I just adjusted according to my requirement as a end user. I'm editing it, but not forever. I'm editing it for one time purpose to see it, but not really. As an end user, I cannot change the colors of this one. That only you have the capability. As an end user, I cannot do the editings of the sizes, but as a developer, you can do whatever you want because you have that option of edit and you just click on it. All right, so whenever you want to change anyone's of property, I don't want to get into detail because that is something which you need to talk in very detail. I selected this graph, I'm not liking the color, so there are certain properties here. If you get a chance, try to take a look. Anyhow, I'll go in detail. I want to go for some auto colors, not single color, maybe some multicolor, maybe by dimension I want to go. What happens, let's see if it is really applicable. So that means the entire colors now changed into a different multiple colors. Each color is representing one particular state here. So that means anytime if you think to enhance, that's what I said, like when you're creating a dashboard, by default it will show something, but if you want to enhance, you can enhance. Now I become a developer, I have this edit button, but for the end user, he will never have edit button. He is only read only, he's just consuming the dashboard. This is how quickly within no time I created my dashboard.